Hello, nation. One pride. I'm Derek, and welcome to another video. In a game filled with high stakes and gripping moments, the Detroit Lions faced a devastating setback during their Week 15 clash against the Buffalo Bills. The Lions, who entered the matchup riding an 11-game winning streak, lost two of their cornerbacks in a game that highlighted both their resilience and the harsh toll of the NFL season. Here's a comprehensive look at the game, the injuries, and what this means for Detroit moving forward. Let's check out all the latest developments in the last few hours. First, pay attention. I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you like what we do, could you take a moment to click on the like button? It's a great way to support us at no cost to you. Thanks a million. Late in the second quarter at Ford Field, cornerback Khalil Dorsey suffered a serious ankle injury during a critical third-and-goal play. While covering near the line of scrimmage, Dorsey collided with linebacker Ezekiel Turner and collapsed immediately. The play concluded with an incompletion, but all attention shifted to Dorsey, who signaled urgently for medical assistance. The injury scene was grim as the Lions' medical staff rushed to Dorsey's side. His left leg was immobilized in an air cast before he was carted off the field to a standing ovation from fans. CBS sideline reporter Tracy Wolfson confirmed that Dorsey was transported to a local hospital for further evaluation. Lions head coach Dan Campbell later announced that Dorsey's season was officially over. This marks yet another major blow for a Lions defense already riddled with injuries. Dorsey had stepped into the lineup as a replacement for Carlton Davis III, who left earlier in the same quarter with a concussion and jaw injury. Adding to Detroit's injury woes, cornerback Carlton Davis III exited the game shortly before Dorsey's injury. Davis had made a tackle on Bills running back James Cook, but stayed down on the field after the play. He was escorted to the locker room and entered concussion protocol, with the Lions later confirming a jaw injury as well. Davis's absence further strained Detroit's secondary, forcing players like Kendall Vilder to step up in a high-pressure situation. Unfortunately, the defense could not contain Buffalo's explosive offense, which capitalized on the Lions' depleted roster. The 2024 season has been a tale of grit and determination for the Detroit Lions, but also one marred by injuries, particularly on defense. Dorsey's and Davis's injuries add to a growing list of sideline players that include star defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, who broke his leg earlier in the season against the Dallas Cowboys. The Lions' 48-42 loss to the Bills showcased their offensive prowess, but also underscored the defensive vulnerabilities brought on by injuries. Quarterback Jared Goff delivered a stellar performance, throwing for 494 yards and 5 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown was unstoppable, racking up 193 receiving yards and a touchdown on 14 receptions. Buffalo's offense, however, proved too formidable and managed to break the Lions' record. Amidst the team's on-field battles, an intriguing off-field development surfaced this week. Terrence Parsons, father of Dallas Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons, expressed his admiration for Detroit as a potential landing spot for his son. Speaking on the Life in the Stands podcast, he listed Detroit alongside Kansas City and Pittsburgh as his top choices should Micah ever seek a new team. Parsons praised the idea of pairing his son with Aiden Hutchinson, calling it a potentially unstoppable combination. His comments reflect the growing respect for Detroit's program under Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, which has transformed the Lions into a desirable destination for top talent. In another headline-grabbing development, wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. was recently released by the Miami Dolphins. While Beckham's 2024 season has been underwhelming, just 9 receptions for 55 yards, the Lions might have compelling reasons to consider adding the veteran to their roster. At first glance, Beckham's underwhelming stats with the Dolphins could give the impression that he's past his prime. However, his limited production wasn't entirely his fault. The Dolphins' offensive system overwhelmingly favors its star players, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, with 88.8% of targets directed toward their top 2 receivers, tight ends, or running backs. In essence, Miami's structure left little room for a third wide receiver like Beckham to shine. When given an opportunity, Beckham has proven he can still contribute. During the 2023 season, he quietly amassed over 500 receiving yards and earned the 27th highest grade among 85 qualifying wide receivers in Pro Football Focus's PFF rankings. These numbers highlight his capability to perform effectively in the right system, a system that the Detroit Lions could provide. The Detroit Lions boast an offense led by Amon-Ra St. Brown, who continues to play at an elite level. However, the depth behind St. Brown remains a concern. While Jameson Williams adds an explosive element with his big play ability, and Tim Patrick has emerged as a promising comeback story, the unit lacks sufficient depth for a deep playoff run. Currently, the Lions rely on Allen Robinson, whose productivity has declined in recent seasons, to round out their receiving core. If any of Detroit's top receivers were to sustain an injury, the team would face significant challenges. Adding Beckham would provide the Lions with an experienced and skilled option who could step in seamlessly, alleviating the pressure on the existing group and boosting the team's offensive versatility. Signing Odell Beckham Jr. isn't just about strengthening the Lions roster. It's also a tactical move to prevent their competitors from gaining an advantage. Beckham's release has caught the attention of other Super Bowl contenders, including the Baltimore Ravens, who are familiar with his capabilities, and the Philadelphia Eagles, who are dealing with their own wide receiver depth issues. Additionally, the Kansas City Chiefs, a potential Super Bowl opponent for the Lions, could benefit from Beckham's addition to bolster their offense. By securing Beckham, the Lions could not only enhance their own chances of success, but also deny a critical asset to teams they may face in the playoffs. This cutthroat strategy ensures that Detroit maintains its competitive edge in the race for a championship. Detroit cannot afford to hesitate. With Beckham now a free agent, teams are likely lining up to claim him before the waiver period ends. For the Lions, this is an opportunity to make a bold move that could have significant implications for their postseason aspirations. His track record, experience in high-pressure games, and the potential to contribute immediately make him a valuable asset for Detroit's playoff journey. The Lions have proven their ability to take calculated risks under Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, and adding Beckham could be another pivotal decision that elevates the team to championship contention. How do you think the Lions can overcome the mounting injuries on defense, especially after losing key players like Khalil Dorsey and Carlton Davis III? Would you like to see the Lions pursue a trade for a player like Micah Parsons in the future? How do you think he would fit into Detroit's defense alongside stars like Aiden Hutchinson? Should the Lions make a move for Odell Beckham Jr.? Do you think he could provide the depth and playmaking ability the team needs for a successful playoff run? Or should they look elsewhere? Leave a comment if you would do such movements if you had the power of the pen. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for our channel. Join our community as a new fan to stay updated with our latest content. Let's strengthen Lions. Until the next video.